Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Farm Manager World. I am sorry it's been a week late. I've actually had this game since it came out, and I was going to do a review last week, and then things just got crazy with work, and I was super busy, and I did not have time, unfortunately, to really give you my thoughts on this. And we threw out a video that we played with Tayloa and the Twitch community, but I didn't really do a good, this is what I think of the game. And so we're going to try to do that tonight. I'm going to keep it short if I can. You know me. Anyway, we're going to load a game that I've been playing. We're going to go into free mode. No, I want to go load game. Single player load. There we go. That's Euro Farm. That's it right there. And I've been trying to make a successful farm. I'll tell you what. One thing I'm not super excited about is even on the supposedly easy difficulty or normal difficulty, this game is really difficult to get ahead on. First of all, you no longer can so in the old versions of the game, you'd grow some products and they would either go into your barn or your warehouse, and you go down here and you could sell all of the items that you had. And so if you had 600 eggs, you could just sell 600 eggs. Well, they've changed that now, and everything has to be sold at the start through the farmhouse. And what that means is that and the farmhouse can only hold so much stuff. So you have to do all this training to kind of get to the point where you can open a logistics center, which will help you move things faster back and forth, and get the house upgraded. And you have to do it. If you don't, what happens is, for example, I just have 4 cows, and these cows make enough product that, oh my gosh, if I don't do things immediately, the milk starts to go bad, and I can't do anything about it because I can't get the people to move it to the house fast enough. There's 2 workers that work in the house right now, and they're logistics people, and they're supposed to be able to move things, but they can't until you work your way through this tree. You have a learning tree, and I'm training right now staff management, but on trading we had to learn all these. Logistics is where you have to go. You have to do all of these, and then you eventually unlock the logistics building. But there's prerequisites. You had to have 10 employees, and you also had to complete this. Before you could complete this, you had to have at least 1 warehouse and 1 barn. Then I can open up this. But in order to do this, I have to have a medium-sized house, which costs money, and this. And how do you do that? At the start of the game, it's a hustle, and you're going to lose a ton of money. They give you $1 million to start with. You can see here, I'm losing about $150,000 a month. And I've got 600 left. So I've got about 5 months of solvency left. If you go into bankruptcy for 3 months, you go broke. Now, I have not had a single harvest yet from any of these, so I don't know how it's going to go when I start selling all the products that are out of my greenhouses. Those will start making us some money, probably good money, but I still don't know if it's enough to survive. We've really struggled. And, my friend Tayloa, you guys know Tayloa, he's set up a huge crop farm with just 2 workers and a bunch of tractors, 2 tractors and a harvester, and did the whole thing as crops. And he's losing money. No matter what we do on the normal level, we lose money. And even if you upgrade the logistics building and you start trying to get, my complaint is it's really, really difficult unless you put the game on super easy mode to survive. And you have to do everything as quickly as you can. You can't just let a small farm be small and slowly grow. It doesn't work like that because you're missing all these things. So let's just say I had 4 greenhouses and cows and goats. I still would have things going bad because I couldn't get them out fast enough. So the game kind of forces you to grow, but it doesn't allow you to grow because everything is blocked through these quote unquote trainings. And until you do the trainings, you have terrible irrigation. You can't do irrigation until you have at least 5 fields or 5 greenhouses. These are all locked. I have to have at least 4 buildings from the category production before I can actually look at advanced production. 4 buildings. Now each of those buildings is going to be $50,000, and they're probably going to lose me $20,000 a month. So in the meantime, and it costs $50,000 to do this training, I'm going to go bankrupt before that happens. I can't even get it started because I'm going to go bankrupt. So there's going to be some like key way to do this that we haven't figured out yet, where you can make enough money to survive. But this is really difficult. And so it makes it so that it's almost not fun unless you just play on easy. I've never been great at city builder games, and I'm not saying it's impossible to do this, but this is difficult. And especially at the rate that you lose money. Part of the problem is you have to hire workers. And in order to get these things done, you have to have each animal building needs a worker. You got a worker there. We got a worker here. So that's $1,500 a month, $3,000 a month, $4,500 a month, $6,000 a month, right? You got 2 workers here. That makes it $9,000 a month. Plus this guy. Now you got, 9,000 or 10,500. Plus the logistics people. There's 2 of them. That's, another. I mean, we're looking at just in workers alone. Not even counting these people. We're spending $50,000 a month, or probably $30,000 or $40,000 a month in workers. And each building gets charged. And you got to pay for electricity. You got to pay for water. And so it's just a continual loss. And they're big losses, but you can't do anything without them. So I'm not sure how you're supposed to do this. It's really difficult. Right now you can see what these guys are driving. They're moving this stuff around, and I've got all of these items on auto sell. So as soon as they come into the green or into the house, they sell, and we made a little profit. We went up $10,000. So we just got to kind of watch and see what happens. This is as close as I could get to being successful. And once again, I don't think any of these are ready to harvest yet. I'm using fertilizer because I've got cows. We got bonuses 100%. Everything's good there. We're not doing these yet. But this is going to be ready how soon? Where's my information on when it's going to be ready? 4 days left. So pretty soon we're going to have red beans. And I grew a bunch of different things that seemed like they would do okay. This is going to be done in 20 days. This is going to be done in 10 days. This is going to be done in 25 days. This is going to be done in 10, right? No, 1 day. That's tomorrow. So we'll see that pretty quick. It's going to get harvestable. This is 187 days. Some of these we haven't been able to pull yet, but here's the thing. So let's see what we got to harvest, right? We should get a decent amount from this. Let's see what kind of boost we get in money from the sales of these products. So they're being called for harvesting. You can see our guys are coming out right now to do the harvest. So what I've tried to do is get crops that grow at different rates so that we're constantly having things to harvest and work on. That way my workers don't have too much to do in one day, but they're busy all the time. And there we go. We got 102 gooseberries. Let's see how many we get. And they're harvesting these. You can see the bushes get harvested. And I picked all perennials, and all multi-harvest, so that they continue to be harvestable. So I'm hoping that the workers don't have to do too much, and that they can just harvest. And eventually, I'd like to get to the point where I don't even have to have as many workers. But right now, it feels like I keep getting signs saying that I don't have enough workers to do the jobs. So we're gonna have to watch that carefully and see how we're doing. So we got about 234 gooseberries. And they're still harvesting, so they're full. Harvest is still going. What are they doing? Why are they going over to that door? Look after plants and prepare for harvest. Okay, well, all I have are these 2 little fields, and I mostly have those so that the bees will produce colza and buckwheat honey. So, all right, so we're going to see what they do. Okay, so they're selling some of the stuff now already. We got $613,000, and have we sold gooseberries? But once again, at the end of the month, that's all going to go away. No, they haven't sold any gooseberries yet. But look at these little amounts of money, right? We have to buy these to fill our animals. So we made $1,234. This is all the cost that we had for bringing this stuff in. $200,000, but then we lost. That's the logistics billing, $75,000. So we'll have to see how the month goes. But milk is worth a lot. You can see that $5,000 for milk. They got a couple $100 from honey. Going up the dates. Let's see. Are these the older dates? It's 2206, 618. Yeah. So this is the latest. So we haven't sold any gooseberries yet. They should all be in our warehouse, maybe. Where do the gooseberries go? Do they go to the barn? Where are they? Okay, they're in 68 in the warehouse. There we go. Available 68. Where did the rest go? Pick a resource. Let's see. That's it. We only got 68 gooseberries. Did they sell already? Oh, no, there's 408 in the warehouse. Now, I think I have it set so that I sell them. So the nice thing about this version is once you have done the training, you start with the ability to do 6 of these. Oh, no, I have it to sell automatically, so they should sell soon. You can have it auto buy for food for your animals and auto sell for things like the gooseberries that I'm producing. They just will sell automatically. When there's more than 0, which is 400, these are going to sell automatically in a couple minutes. That should bring in a decent amount of money, but that's all we got from that harvest. We got 500 altogether, right? Oh no, they're out of the warehouse now. So this truck is bringing gooseberries over, I bet. Let's see here. No, 476. They haven't sold yet. I want them to auto trade, but we can also sell them by hand. So let's sell them by hand and see. So $2,000. That didn't help. Okay, we made 6,018. It makes our balance go down. Once again, I bought a building, so that's a little bit skewed. But with all of this stuff, I'm just losing money. I've got fish, I got milk, I got goat's milk, I got eggs, I've got these crops, and I've got honey. All of those things together should make a little bit of a profit, but no, the farm costs so much money to run that we're just constantly losing. I'm going to let it run for a little bit and see what happens because I just want to find out if we're going to be profitable or if I have to keep building to go or to grow. I mean, so we're at 618 right now. Keep track of that. When I come back, we'll see where we're at. So my fears here, we're going to come upon my fears here in just a minute. I got another harvest coming in. This is good. So far, the rhythm isn't too bad. And boom, we had 603. So last month, I actually made a profit of $1,000. Let's let it run another month and see what happens. We're in July now. I'm going to get a little bit of profit from colza. We'll have to sell that stuff by hand, but that means our honey is over with. We might have to regrow some colza. I might replant it because it's so early in the year. But you can see there, I don't have enough workers to do everything, but we're doing the best we can. So let's catch up. I'll catch up with you. It's the 4th of July. Oh, happy Independence Day. I'll be back once July is over. Okay, one thing I forgot, and I've paused the game. We need to take a look and see what the training was over with, and I need to see what's next. So have I done this yet? Animal husbandry improves eggs and milk production rate and unlocks a second level chicken coop. Okay, that's a good thing. Agricultural techniques, it doesn't really matter because I'm not doing these. But this increases maximum field size. You can make bigger fields. Orchard management, we don't need yet. Advanced glass house, that's for the bigger greenhouses. Ground assessment could be nice if you were doing a lot of crops, but we're not. Advanced production. We don't have 4 buildings from production. Eventually we will, once we are making a profit. Additional working stations. No, we don't need that yet. That means basically if you have workers, and there's only 2 available slots in a building, now there's 3 available slots. So you can hire more people and get more things done. Not a bad idea, but right now we're not big enough. We've got all these done. This is probably a good one, but we don't have 2 barns and 2 warehouses. This would be great. Storage space optimization. Refrigeration systems, we don't have 2 warehouses. I don't have 3 small silos, and I don't need them. Machines, we're not doing any machines right now, so I'm not going to mess with that. But eventually we will, but right now we aren't. Staff management allows you to hire up to 65 employees, but we don't have 10 greenhouses or sown fields. I can't do that. I don't have 2 warehouses, can't do that. HR training, we've done that already, but we don't have 20 decorations. This unlocks employees with 2 skills. That's pretty cool. Recruitment test unlocks employees with higher. I'm happy with my employees that I have right now, but eventually we will need to get more employees. So these are things that I can work towards. I'll have to put some decorations down because happiness is now part of the game. Go figure. Trading, basic trading partners. Now this could be important, and we're going to go ahead and do this because here, basic trading partners, what this happens is farmers will ask you to make them products, and then you can get more money for selling your crops. So this is going to be important. Also, negotiations is important. We could do this too. Increases the amount of available resources when buying from 2 to 3,000 or 5 to 6,000. I'm not sure what that means again. Increases the amount of available resources when buying from... I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. And then general training. We could road expansion unlocks 2-lane roads. We don't need that right now. This unlocks buying new land if you do a neighborhood barbecue. Improved building conservation. Decreases accident risk. Now, I've never seen an accident, but I guess that'd be good. Now, here's another important one maybe we could do. If you do this, you can get loans for leasing machines. So right now, I think the important ones that we do are more on the logistics side of thing. But let's see what we got. Staff stuff is important too, I think, right now for us. But did we do this one yet? No, we're going to start this. So we're going to learn that. And so we're going to go ahead and continue. I just wanted to share that with you because you constantly want to be training if you can. But that costs $10,000. Ouch. Now, one thing that stinks is that, okay, so the training is definitely hurting my farm a little bit, money-wise. The good news is we've been carrying for the last 15 days a positive income balance. Now, I've had to spend $45,000 on training in the last month. So that probably will kill any profit we make. So what we're going to do is I'm going to run this all the way through the end of August. So we'll see what we start with at the beginning on August 1st, and then we'll come back and look at it again on August 30th, and I will not spend any training dollars. That way we can see, is the farm actually profitable with what I've set up here? Because my goal here was to try to see if I can make money. This is on normal once again. I'm not playing hard or difficult, like super difficult. I'm playing just the second level. You got easy, medium, hard, and harder. And I'm playing on just the regular medium level. So the hope is that I will have done enough that we're all set and I don't have to worry about, that we're making a profit every month. And if that's the case with this setup, then this is what you're going to want to do to start. Now, once you're making a profit, you can expand your farm, but you have to get to the place where you're profitable. And so what it's going to take for you to do that, and we'll go over that once this is done so you guys can kind of see what it takes to be profitable. But anyway, this is working, so this is good. Okay, so the really good news is we have made it to August 1st. Now, I spent $40,000 on trading, and already we're up to 600. Well, we started at 608, but within the first day, we made it up to 611. So we're going to say the starting balance on this month was $611,000. Let's see how much money we make over the next month. I'm not going to do anything but respond to emergencies. So no training. We're just going to let the farm run. And then once I'm done, we'll go over what it took me to get this to be successful. All right. So we have arrived at the 1st of September. Now, we're going to have a little bit of a loss of income during the winter because the bees will stop producing. But our animals, and this is why I set this farm up the way that I did. So it worked. We started the month with $611,000, and we now have $640,000. So I made $29,000. Actually, saying $28,845. That's what the monthly income was. That's a really good income. So once again, what I had to do to get there, this is what we did. Okay. I built 6 of these. These are greenhouses. I picked vegetables or fruits that were somewhat extravagant, weird, and had different growth rates. So some of these, like spinach, is cheap, but it only takes 40 days to grow. The pears, for example, take 100, almost 200 days to grow. Now, they get harvestable a lot faster than that, though. See, there's only 28 days left, and these just got harvested. The calabashes, I call them pears, but it's a calabash. So once they start producing, I knew the first 200 days were rough, but they produce every maybe 30 days. These produce, this just got harvested too, 3 days. Now, you don't get a whole, unlike the old versions of the game where they harvested everything, that's not what happens in this version of the game. In this version, they harvest a bit, like whatever's ready gets harvested. And then they come over here and harvest whatever's ready. So I have 5 workers spread between these 6 buildings. Those workers are all planter workers. They have the plant as their specialty. And I have them set to do manual labor and no machines, okay? And then they take care of these 2 fields of buckwheat and colza. Those are done for the year. So we're going to leave them, but next year we'll plant the same thing. But you can see here, we keep getting harvests. Every month I have several harvests because these are now producing. So this is not making us all the money, but it's making us money. The second thing I did was I did upgrade this to a larger, once we had our barn and our warehouse, we had to build a barn and a warehouse to keep product in. And once again, this is not a tutorial, so I'm just kind of showing you what I did. We were able to upgrade this house, to do the training to upgrade this house to level 2, which allows us 2 logistic workers to live in the house. Now they take care of shipping things from the house to, selling and moving things around the farm. However, they also, I believe, have access to the trucks, but maybe not. These 2 work in conjunction with each other. And what this does, having this building, okay, so once you have these 2, then you can do the training for the logistics building. And the logistics building allows you to store all kinds of crops here and move them with trucks. So things move around the farm a lot faster, which means you will not have things going bad. This was super important to get to. Once again, you had to upgrade the house to get to here. So that's one of the reasons why I upgraded this house. The other big thing that I needed to do was to have irrigation, because these are so much easier to maintain for our workers if they're irrigated. Also, I irrigated these fields because it was only 1,000 each. So now the workers never have to do any watering. And I have these set so that they do all the fertilizing. So they're using our manure from our cows and pigs and stuff, or goats, and they spray for everything. So you can turn that off, but then you'll get diseases and stuff in there. But the workers stay right on top of the crops, keeping them healthy. You got to also make sure you set the temperatures right. Like these like cooler temperatures, so I have the temperature turned down. Whereas the calabash is like it hotter, so I have the temperature turned up. But anyway, the point is we got lots of different variety, and that was what helped make the farm survive. Then on top of that, you do need to have some animals. Chickens are great because they make eggs all the time. The bees are great. Honey is pretty valuable, and it's a constant source during the summer. So it's good to have, like I said, the crop buckwheat and colza right next to it. We're not looking for crop yield. We'll sell that stuff off for a little bit of money, but the big important thing that these are is that they make buckwheat and colza honey. That's why we have these. I don't care about yield. I just want the honey out of it. And then goats and cows are super important because of their milk. And honestly, the carp meat is pretty good. So what I've done to be successful here, and this was a test at the beginning. I wasn't sure it was going to work, but I needed to run it for a month or 2 to see if we're actually, because Taylor was like, there's no way you can make this work, and it's not blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, man, there's got to be something we can do. So really the trick is don't be a farmer and farm manager in the traditional sense. Now, once we have this going and I get $1 million, maybe I can turn around and start putting some fields out. But the infrastructure is here to make continual money. That, here's the problem. Once we start adding more people to this, you're adding more costs. So you have to have things that are going to bring in a lot of money. So instead of, let's say, expanding the fields, I would honestly, once we have it researched, I'd get a bigger cow pen and put it over here, and then maybe look at expanding into milk production, because we have, once again, just like the old versions of the game, we have all kinds of different things we can build, and production is one of them, but it's all locked right now. I can't make anything. So I have, you can make a smokehouse. If you're going to do meat animals like the carps, we could smoke the carp and get more money for those. But look at the cost. It's $320,000 and it's $500 a month. However, the money is big when you do these. So you will make money. Slaughterhouse, same deal. I'm not doing those yet. But the milk processing plant, I know for a fact from the last version of the game, this made huge money. It was a huge bonus to my farm, and it made us tons and tons of money. So you probably will want to look at doing like some kind of milk processing plant. I can't do it yet because I don't have the training, but eventually we will build that. But I'm going to try to wait till I get back up to $1 million, let the farm run for a couple of years. And you could do a fruit, since we have all these fruits. Let's see what they have here. I can't get it to show me really fast enough, but it looks like some of our fruits are accepted. Some of them aren't. So we'd maybe have to change around some of the things that we have in our greenhouse to let's see, plan mode. I don't know what that does, but in our greenhouse we could process some of the things that we're growing and make money doing that. Those are expensive, and you have to have the training again. But these are the things that I would go for before I kind of look through them. Now, the one thing that Taylor and I did do, we tried doing the seedling production, and that didn't make us any money. I'm not sure why you would even do this. It seems to just lose money. Now, you can produce your own seeds, but at the cost it takes to have somebody producing your own seeds in a building that you own, it's way cheaper just to buy the seeds. So I don't know if this is bugged, but you don't, like, for example, if I put 1 pair in, I have to put like 10 pairs in to get 5 seeds. And the seeds are worth half of what the pairs are worth. Well, why would you do that? What they should be is you take 1 pair, because 1 pair has how many seeds? Probably 50, 30. So you get 30 seeds out of it, each pair. But it's the opposite. It goes down instead of up. So I don't know. I'm really kind of confused on what they were thinking with this, but it doesn't seem to work properly. I'll have to read more about how it functions, but it seems like it was just a money loser. We both tried it and it didn't work. But these will make money. I can guarantee you the cheese stuff will make money, especially if you have goats and cows. You're going to make a lot of money. So I would go that route. And once you're making like $100,000 a month, then you can take the risk of actually setting up a farm. Because once you add a farm, like with crops, then you're going to have to deal with paying the workers, keeping the equipment going, and all that stuff. And the crops aren't worth very much. So there's not a lot of motivation to head that direction. You're much better off doing like these kind of things, because these are what make way more money. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on this. Once again, it's a city builder. There are lots of different ways you can do this. Another thing you can do to cheat the system, if it wants you to build, if you can't do the training because you need another warehouse and a barn, you can always build a random warehouse and barn, let them get built, and then delete them after you've done the training. You don't have to keep them, I would do all the training that requires 2 of them, leave them empty, and then get rid of them. And that way you can get the training that you need to move to the next level. You lose a little bit of money, but it's not that much. You get about 2/3 back when you sell a building. So that's an idea to get around that. But anyway, I'm happy that we were able to find a way that actually makes money. And now my bank account's being filled up, Bob. I'm going to be making $20 to 30, let's say 30,000 a month, right? Right about 30, because that's we're at 28, now we're at 34. If we're not doing training, we're going to be making $30,000 a month. That equates to $360,000 a month, a year. I mean, and that's pretty good. That'll get you through. Now, like I said, it'll go down a little bit in the winter because your bees are going to stop producing, but they're honestly not that much of the equation. But the other thing you could do is very slowly start adding more animals and stuff in. Just be aware that every month, like if the goats produce a certain amount a month, you're also losing a little bit because you have to hire an employee. So every time you add an animal, you got to hire an employee. However, usually the animals make enough money that they balance themselves. So it's worth doing the animals because they'll actually pay for themselves, and that's a good thing. So you want them to pay for themselves. But yeah, you can see they're $1,700 a month. Well, the cows make a lot more money than that. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this like overview look. It's not super quick, but it's a half an hour. And this is how I made myself successful, I guess. I wasn't expecting the results to be good, but I'm happy that we were able to actually get into the positives. But it's hard to get started, and there's a very specific way you have to do it to make it successful. And so I think I found the solution to do it. But this game, it's a little bit difficult. Doesn't mean I don't like it. I do like the game, but it's a little bit rough to get started. But now that we're going, it's good. All right, guys, have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help. If you want to see more Farm Manager World, let me know, and we'll play it some more. Do a couple more episodes or whatever, and you guys can see how the farm's going as I expand it. But if not, that's okay too. We have lots of games to play. So anyway, see you next time. Bye.